swala la fraternity. We want to be very clear on this and very much categorical. We have given the government of the day 21 days to clear the Mbogi operations in Kisumu. Why am I saying so? The officers seated here, they are very innocent. But now because they don't know whichever way to take, now Operation Maliza Mbogi imekuwa Operation Shika Boda Boda. When the police officers are saying they need vehicles, you need to provide these people with vehicles. Instead of using the vehicles, sasa wanashika pikipiki naenda station, the next day pikipiki yako ndio polisi anakimbia nayo. Akishika nayo watu. So at least hearken to their voice and provide them with land cruisers so that they can do their work. My next point. Boda boda tumedharauliwa sana. The other government came with an initiative that they wanted to issue the boda boda riders with the licenses. I failed to understand how an NYS can train a boda boda rider on issues to do with traffic. And we paid 600 Kenya shillings. Up to now, we have never received the what? The licenses. Where did that 600 shillings go to? My next appeal, we have the Insurance Regulatory Authority. I heard you the other day speaking of insurance. Where do we get the insurance? Because we have the brokers, we go for the insurance. Whenever an accident occurs, they are not ready to pay the boda boda people. So in your answer or feedback, we need to know on that. Lastly, I want to speak something concerning the boda boda fraternity. Where is our space in this nation as the boda boda riders? Because you woke up in the morning, CS Murkomen gives an order, I don't know if it was a lie or true, that no boda boda should be seen on a highway. The next day, Murkomen wakes up in the morning, boda boda will not enter CBD. The next morning, Pius Omolo wakes up, giving an address, boda boda should be banned from entering elsewhere. So, I don't know what is happening. So, we want to plead with you. And I'm very much happy I'm seeing you one-on-one. We need to see something that is workable and can sustain the boda boda industry. One of my points that I want to say in your remarks, you said that you want to see these things implemented. Same to the boda boda issues. And lastly, Kisumu County boda boda will be having an economic empowerment. It has been done to other counties. Kisumu County should not be left aside. We need you to come in person so that we see if you have a heart of a boda boda. Na wale ambao tumekaa hapa tunakashifu boda boda. Boda boda pia ni serikali. Sisi tumewasaidia kushika wahalifu na nyinyi wenyewe mnawacha wahalifu. Mnakuja tena kushika watu wa boda boda. Lastly, in this coming recruitment, we expect to see boda boda riders recruited as police officers to help the police do their operations. But the most important thing in Kisumu, we want to see you doing an operation Maliza Mbogi. Bwana DG, Kisumu County government should support the boda boda riders. It has been our plea and a cry. Munamaliza your 10-year term without even sitting with the boda boda riders. And that is quite one thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate him. Asante sana. Aya, tutulie ndio tuweze kumaliza. Sir, order please. Our next speaker, let's have some order. Our next speaker, sir, will be a women leader, Madam Valentine Onyango. Valentine. Asante, Valentine Akuja. Sheila Akinyi. Sheila Akinyi is also a leader and she will dwell on gender-based violence. Karibu.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Honorable Cabinet Secretary, the Principal Secretary, His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Kisumu County, the DIG, and all members of Parliament present. I bring you greetings from the gender sector. I work for Compassionate Center for Families and CBO that rescues and hosts women and children who are victims of sexual and gender-based violence. We also host children who are in need of care and protection. Currently, we are hosting 39 women and children at our Rescue and Recovery Center in Kisumu West, Kisian. I hope the Member of Parliament for Kisumu West has gotten that. And at our center, we take care of most basic yet essential needs. That is food, shelter, clothing, medication, and education. We do this with very limited resources, often relying on goodwill, yet the demand is growing daily. For example, today we have 39 women and children healing from sexual and gender-based violence, and also a few who are referrals for child in need of care and protection. But by the time you're waking up tomorrow, the number may go down to 20, or it may go up to 50. So the first challenge that we have been facing is medical cover for unknown referrals that are being brought by the Kenya police. So many times we get, actually most of the times we get our referrals from the police, and they may stay at our rescue center for a day or two. And then on the third day you find that a woman deteriorates and we have to evacuate them to either Ojola Sub-County Hospital or majorly Kisumu County Referral Hospital. Yesterday I was discharging 3 girls. One was a referral from Dago Police Station. One was a referral from Kisumu Central Police Station, and the other one was a referral from Holo Police Station. They have been at the hospital since May. And so yesterday when they were finally discharged, 2 were defiled and dumped. One was defiled and dumped in a thicket in Holo. Another one was defiled and dumped somewhere, I think around Kiboswa. And then the third one was just brought by a well-wisher to Kisumu Central Police Station. There are actually 4. There was one that had a septic burn wound. And the hospital slapped me with a bill of 796,000 shillings. When we get survivors who are of age and they have national IDs, what we normally do is immediately we admit them to the center, we register them for SHA. Then we have those that are unknown. They have lost their minds, you do not know where they're coming from, and you cannot pay for SHA. So you have to figure out how to pay for the hospital bill or ask the hospital to waiver. So thankfully we were able to come to an agreement with the hospital, and the 4 were discharged. So if we could come up with, I don't know if it's just something, somehow, that can take care of medical bills for these people that are referred by the police. Because also sometimes I see the police are the ones who get into their pocket, especially at the initial stages at the outpatient department, to pay for these bills. Number 2, we have transportation of victims to court. Most of the time we are the ones who take them to court and back. But when you take a victim of defilement to court, then the family normally imagine that it is you as a rescue center that is pushing for the case, for their family or their kin to be prosecuted. So there are times that inabidi tufiche white. Ukitoka koti, unaingia kwa hospitali ama kwa police station, just so they stop, because you realize that they're trailing you. Then after they have gone, then that is when you change. Maybe get a taxi and transfer the victim to the cab, arudishwe kwa rescue center. So if we could have enough police vehicles, then the police can be coming to the center to pick the victims, take them to court, and bring them back. And then we do not have maybe government rescue centers. I've not heard of any in the county, but we have quite a number of private or CBO and NGO run rescue centers. So is it possible that we support the ones that are already existing as we try to put in place the government ones? we really struggle with feeding these people, and we also struggle with, of course, the medical bills and education. I think most of the people from Kisumu County that are seated in this row, I have once or twice or three times knocked on their doors to ask for food. We get most of food from the county commissioner, but sometimes the food is designated for other people. So then we have to get into our pocket to buy the food. Last but not least, we work every day with police officers. And sometimes I am used to seeing scenes of a child that has been defiled, a woman who has been physically, assaulted, and they're bleeding and all. But sometimes, in two instances, we went for a rescue in Kombewa, and then there was another rescue we went for in somewhere around Maseno. And then you see the police officer that was given to support us, or rather to give us the security, kind of breaks down, and I'm here thinking, I'm the one who is supposed to be breaking down, not you, because you're used to this thing. Then it dawned on me later, one of them confided and said, Sheila, we are here rescuing this woman, but I'm also going through the same thing. My husband beats me every single day, but I cannot, hakuna pali naweza kuenda. So if we could work on psychosocial support. There was also a time, the last one, somebody reported someone for owing the money, and the IO that was assigned, that was Kisumu Central Police Station, that was assigned to this case was like, Sheila, unajua hata mimi niko na deni ni kama, hata mimi nitaletwa hapa, So they are going through a lot, and if we could have a psychosocial support put in place for the uniformed officers. That's it, thank you.
Asante sana, let's appreciate her. Tumpigie makofi vizuri. Sir, our next speaker will be a person living with disability. Watasaidiana na Madam ACC to do their presentation.
Hello, good afternoon. CS, PS, DI, and DIG, all protocols observed. It's me, David Ogoro, representing PWD, reading on his behalf. Yes, representing PWDs and chair of Smart Disability Development Network, a member of Peace Committee in Kisumu County. Request, train more officers under Interior and National Administration on disability rights, etiquette, and sign language to ease communication. 2, employ more PWDs to work at gender desk, especially deaf and blind categories, since GBV issues affect them mostly. 3, inclusion and service accessibility. By having PWDs, especially deaf and blind, who are often sidelined, get employed at 1, government registration services, that is the ID issuance, and 2, immigration office. Lastly, thank you for being the first CS, PS, and DIG to organize this meeting, the people tour, and listening to them. Thank you.
Asante sana, mpigieni makofi. Mpigieni makofi tena. Our next speaker will be a representative of the Council of Elders. Mr. Ondere, please.
Luo!
Lingwane ne kech gimotimore ni mahono maduong'. Omera mana anyuolo mabudo omera mosin mirembe. Ubiro winjo kaka dhi mapiyo piyo. Luo gimomiyo mako dhoga momiyo nabiro ka kawuono. Ng'ama kia dholuo to ng'ato lokne. Luo ng'euru ni wasesandore moloyo, wasesandore pinyni. Daudi moso udi Jesse.
One of the chiefs, please come and.
Ere ng'ama ong'e Daudi?
It's okay. It's okay.
Ama- Should we
It's okay. Niko na translate.
Be ong'e Daudi? Ere joma ong'e? Nogona simu ni wuoda ni biro ka. Emomiyo abiro an kata barua ok omiya. Uwinjo? Kaw kura. Chife, assistant chife, police, kaw kura. Wane lweny. Aduoko erokamano kuom minista biro dala waka. Kod nyathiwa mung'eyo, Yesu paki. Gimomiyo awuoyo kama, semina makama ne pok obede dala waka semina ni mipuonjogo ji mondo ji oriwre, mondo ji ong'e dongruok, mondo ji okel pachgi, mondo nyithindo okel pachgi, yudhe okel pachgi, dongo ber. Omiyo an anyalo wacho ne minista, erokamano kuom luorruok e Nyanza. Asewinjo kaka iluorori. Opisa ma polise. Awinjo ka ji owuoyo ka ji gidou. Kendo ng'ato ka wuoyo to gidou. Tiru atiya to urieru. Chife, awinjo kodhum kama moko gomo promotion, moko be gombo ang'o. Tiru pinyni mondo nyithindo kaw kipande. Awinjo ka jomoko wuoyo ka nyamrerwa gine be wuoyo. Nyamrerwa kik ibed e dhot, wuog oko. Semina mokele wacho ni ji oriwre, mon, nyithindo, kijende. An aduoko erokamano ne president mawuodo omera. Wamachal gi president dongine remba, dongine no denda. Agoyo erokamano ne kamano agone owili erokamano dipit meya, agone dipit governor, agonu erokamano kansinde aduwi. Adui chungade adui. Adui ne kaka piny oseyoro, piny yoro marach. Mawuok oko ni piny rach. Aduoko erokamano mang'eny, Nyasaye ogwedhi. Omolo. Teremos policeman Bethany. Omolo. Tich mitiyo Nyasaye nomedi. Tich mitiyo Nyasaye nomedi. Minister, dhiye mier matindo gi madongo Nyasaye nomedi. Donga twak maber. Kata kabasa nabiro pong dongo ber.
Erokamano jaduong'. Asante sana, tumpigie makofi tafadhali. So we want to invite the Matatu Owners Association, represented by Mr. Shem. Please come.
Uh, Sawa, thank you to our CS, PS, and all the leaders here. I'm here to represent the Matatu sector. I'm Shem Ochodo. I am the chairman of the Kisumu Bus Park, and I also sit at the National Governing Council for Matatu Owners Association. And we have 42 offices countrywide. The challenges we are having that touches the insecurity around our bus park of Kisumu. Number one is the issue of illicit brew and the drugs. Bwana CS, we are even shocked, and we keep asking ourselves, where is the alcoholic drinks control that was formulated in 2010 Katiba? Where is the Narcotic Drug and Substance Control Act that was in place by 1994? And we remain to still ask, what is NACADA doing? This department of NACADA, what are they really doing? Equally, we are asking the county government that licensing these alcoholic joints, especially at our bus parks. And if you look at the Kisumu bus park, say for the closeness yenye iko nayo karibu na Kisumu Girls, we have so many schools around. Kisumu Girls, Kisumu Day, Kisumu Boys, and several other primary schools. It is risking the lives of those children and also risking the lives of our drivers. The other thing that I wanted to address is the number of traffic checks we are having in this region. As a Matatu sector, we are so much worried about this kind of checks that are being put on our roads. Actually, we are seeing it as economic sabotage, because if you move a very few meters, you will get a police check, and the norm is, the language is that one. That has become like a norm. You greet one another. Why? Why should we? But at the end of the day, this Matatu will lose either 600 shillings per trip or 700 shillings per trip. It is, we are seeing it as an economic sabotage. We are faced here, Bwana CS, by the invading of our small businesses by the foreigners. Much as I know I need not to use an inciting language, but we are receiving a lot of foreigners from either Congo or Uganda doing some very small businesses with our people here. Some even go at a level of selling a kahawa to our people, and even hawking with our people, and it's economic. It's equally affecting our people. Yes? On security again, and it was said here at the bus park, we are having issues of lights. And that one, I think, Bwana Governor, Deputy Governor, you are here. We've talked about it several times and again, the issues of light at the bus park. We are lacking a number of lights at the bus park. The other thing, which again falls under the county government, is that quite a number of county askaris are using handcuffs. We don't understand who should be having these handcuffs, but it is there with county askaris, and they are harassing our traders with those handcuffs. Wanashika watu, wanaweka pingo, and I know those pingos are not heading to police stations. They are headed somewhere for either bargainings or something. So you need to work around it, Deputy Governor. We are discussing here about insecurity, which again borders the issues of unemployment. In Kisumu County, we don't have several or rather many factories that are helping our people. And in fact, if you go around, such places like bus parks or the borders or what, are the places that host or rather give our boys some chance to get a meal. But you see, we need to, especially the leaders, our leaders need to come up with either a good policy or something that touches on. I was even shocked seeing a Kikomi. Kikomi is turned to be a garage with Auto Express. A garage, surely. Kikomi, which we need to revive and give our boys, some chance or some light to work. But giving it to, turning it to a garage was quite, and I'm doing this because it is frustrating. It is frustrating. These boys we are calling bogi, sio eti wamependa hiyo life. Ni maisha imewaweka hapo. Hakuna kazi. Leaders wenye wanafaa wa create kazi, wengine, yes, wengine are doing it. But wengine are, most of them are for handouts. Why do we go for handouts? Yet we can give these people maybe something that is that would keep them moving. You do a proper empowerment to our boys. We need to do a proper empowerment to our boys. And to that, I want to categorically thank our son here, Bwana PS. I want to thank him because he has tried empowering our vijanas through organized groups, and we have been seeing it going round the county. And I know it is even beyond Kisumu. I want to thank the Bwana PS and his entire team. I want to also thank Mr. President, because some of his programs are being rolled down here to youth, our youth being organized by that same boy accord, so that the youth can get something that is tangible. The last time I saw where they distributed quite a number of tuk-tuks. The other time it was a very big arambe, and now I'm seeing even borders want something for themselves. Thank you very much.
Asante sana, let's appreciate him. Our next speaker will represent the business community. GRS, please.
Thank you, Madam RC, Honorable Cabinet Secretary, Honorable PS, Your Excellency the Deputy Governor, the MPs present, the Speaker and the MCAs present, the Regional Commissioner and the Regional Security Team, the County Commissioner and the County Security Team, Police Commanders, Pana DIG, community religious leaders, youth representatives, and distinguished guests. Good evening. Jo Kisumu amoso ute. On behalf of the private security stakeholders and on behalf of the business community, Waziri, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rafiq Danji, the chairman and advisor of JRS Group, and I've been in the community policing for the last 40 years. We are gathered here today because of the safety of Kisumu and the county, a city of commerce, governance, and culture, is under increasingly threat. This forum gives us the opportunity to reflect on the challenges, confronts the gaps, and agrees on a united way forward to protect the lives, property, and investments in this region. Bwana Waziri, our biggest problem in this region is unemployment. it is the idle youth that are there that need employment. This region is a consumer economy. We need to be able to have industrial growth to able to create employment in the region. Recently, we have witnessed gang violence, political interference, fear amongst witnesses, inadequate street lighting, poor lighting, limited CCTV coverage, and blind spots aiding criminals. We have repeat offenders, released criminals resuming crime, creating cycles of insecurity, advancing criminal skills, citizen apathy, lack of residents cooperating undermines law enforcement, targeting vulnerable groups, nighttime vulnerability, late Boda Boda operations. I was told, my friend here said, transport officers. So we need to be able to try and regulate some of the movements exposure to crime. Early political campaigns highlighting tensions and creating opportunities for criminals. Overpopulated key areas within the suburbs of Kisumu and the county itself. Inadequate emergency services, multiple users of estates within Milimani and others, and increasing movement within the slum areas. Excessive inlets and outlets within the areas of Milimani, Kibuye, Tomboya, etc. Noise from churches and clubs, unregulated Airbnb facilities, Boda Boda rentals to students, lack of vetting of commercial domestic workers, failure to share crime information, and low security meeting attendance. My brother, the city manager, has really tried to have meetings, but I think the forum and the apathy towards the county government is not giving enough coverage and attendance in some of these meetings. The plan is simple. It aims to unite the police, county government, residents, and private security stakeholders in a common framework. We need to strengthen patrols and checkpoints, improve street lighting, CCTV, barriers and floodlights, form a Kisumu Joint Security Task Force, regulate Boda Boda, etc. Thank you. And lastly, Bwana CS is mapping of hotspots, intelligence gathering and sharing, national government support, county government action, and community participation. With strong leadership from your office, Bwana CS and Bwana PS, our brother, and collaboration amongst county authorities, the residents and private security stakeholders, Operation Secure Kisumu County can transform Kisumu into a model of safety for Kenya. Thank you and be blessed, all of you. Thank you, sir.
Asante sana.
The chiefs that are doing some good work, the chiefs from Kondele location, those chiefs are doing a good work and I must talk about it. The OCS for Kondele, the OCS for Central, these OCSs are doing some good job and we must appreciate you. And even the ARC is also doing some good work and lastly, as I finish, I want to thank the political class, our elected leaders, the representatives. It is always very unique seeing our leaders sitting here with us throughout the day, the very way they have sat. Can you makofi kwao? Makofi kwao. It is very good that you have taken your time to be here with us. And because there were so many issues that were touching on policy and legal framework, I would just wish to ask you that there are a lot of things that lies with you as members of parliament. You need to support the Ministry of Interior so that the matters touching on legal framework are worked into through the National Assembly so that they don't lament so much that their work is not being implemented because of the budget constraints. Nikimalizia kabisa, ningependa kusema Bwana PS, umefanya kazi nzuri, sababu vijana wetu wakipewa pikipiki, wamama wakipewa pesa kidogo ya kufanya biashara, na wamama wakongwe pia wakijengewa nyumba zao. Kuna vitu ambavyo serikali ya William Samoei Ruto imetufanyia mingi sana hapa Kisumu. Ndio maana sisi tuna support hii serikali, sababu hatujawahi ona serikali yenye imefanyia sisi vitu vingi kama serikali ya William Samoei Ruto. Sababu hata tukimalizia tukisema tu tama hakuna makosa, tuko katika hiyo serikali. Asante sana.
Asante sana, mpigieni makofi. Thank you so much. Sir, our last speaker will be a group of young men who have invented a security app. I will give them time to express themselves.
Thank you. Buenos dias. Yes, and every accolade present. We're very much thankful for having to interact with us at this level. It's really hard to understand that maybe getting an opportunity to present such a crucial thing in such a moment be hard, and we have to be given opportunity in the last bit. Here with us is a Save You app that we've developed. We are a team of 4, and we've developed this app because we've been part of problem, and staying in the problem, we're trying to make a solution in the problem. If you would ask everybody around, Kabambe they will be using for backup, and they will all be having Android phones. So this app is really focusing on security matters. We are graduates of Maseno University to begin with. I'm very sorry for going so fast. We are graduates of Maseno University, and as said by the current Secretary General, insecurity is really a menace in the space. There's a tribe called Wanyore in that place, really giving comrades hard time. They don't give us hard time. You will be going around, maybe hata saa mbili ushakatwa umenyang'anywa simu. So using this app, we're trying to develop something yenye ukishake to your app this way, so long as you've downloaded it from your Play Store, it's in a position of sending a response to maybe a server that we've created. So we are requesting, Bwana CS, having taken our good time to use online space that people are using to maybe make the body of the president lying in a coffin, we are trying to develop such a space to get such good solutions for Kenyans, and maybe it can serve even worldwide if you are supported. We really requesting as a team that to give us chance. We cannot present everything that we have in this app now. You give us time, we meet, we give you everything, then you can see how you can support us further. Get from him a bit. Okay. Sorry. My name is Hussein Ali Yamaluo. Na ukumbuke mambo ni mawili, 2-term, bila break.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me read on the protocol. My name is Peter Simio Uma. I'm the team leader, Save You, and the Kenlink solution. And Bwana Waziri, due to time, we can't present this now. But the Save You is an app, our application, that whenever you have it, anywhere, anytime, you are faced with attack, maybe there's an accident, maybe someone is sick. Kisumu County under health sector has been our customers back in 2021 during COVID-19. Yeah, so they use the app to report the COVID-19 cases. So with the Save You app, you'll be able to, if for example, Bwana PS is your first respondent. If you are faced with an attack and your phone rings, the PS phone will ring and you'll be able to know, PS will be able to know where you are, what is happening, even including the voices that is there, anything that is happening to you. So the Save You app ensures that you are never alone. So allow me welcome him so that he can say 1, 2, 3, then leave. Oh, my name is Peter Simio Uma.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Dominic Collins. I'm the software manager. Thank you.
Asanteni sana, wapigieni makofi tafadhali. Please clap for them. Muskue wachoyo, clap for them, please. Thank you so much. CSR, we've come to the end of the presentations. I know there are so many people who wanted to speak, but if you have any memorandum, kindly, you can present it. But because of time, that's the end of our conversation. Thank you.
Asante sana. Thank you very much. Tutaongea bado mpaka jioni. Mimi niko area. Hakuna penye naenda. Haya, tupikie hao wenye wameongea makofi. Tusimame wote. Fanya hivi. Pande huu mwingine. Chini. Very good, tuketi. I know, ketini. Are we audible enough? Now, I want to thank all the government officials and the wananchi who wame present. Now, you will agree with me that the leaders have been very patient, sindio? Pigia hao makofi. Unajua mwanasiasa kuweka kwa mahali moja for 5 hours sio rahisi. Sasa mnajua huwa mnatesa ma chiefs na assistant chief, hata leo mteseke kidogo, because unajua I know nimekuwa kwa siasa. Siasa anafika mkutano, amefika Ijumaa, anatoka Nairobi, anataka kwenda mazishi 6. Anafika, anapata padre ameshaanza mahubiri, ndio hiyo anataka kushika microphone, anaambiwa kuja salimia watu 1 minute ndio uende. Anasimama anasema hata ajui nani amekufa, anasema nimekuja kusema pole sana. Alafu saa hizo anauliza mtu ni nani amekufa. Kumbe anaona mtu ako na kitambaa, anaanza kusema huyu mama mwenye analala hapa alikuwa rafiki yangu sana. Anaambiwa ni mwanaume alikuwa Lejo Maria. So leo tumekuwa hapa na nyinyi na mmeona wote wameketi chini kusikiliza. Si namna hiyo? Nitasema machache sana kujibu ile mmerais, alafu nitawapatia viongozi wetu tufunge. Kwanza wacha niseme kabla sijajibu haya maswali yote na mambo ambayo mmerais hapa, niko pia na mambo yangu tu mawili, only 2, yenye ningependa pia kuambia nyinyi. Number 1, mimi nataka niwakumbushe ya kwamba tuko hapa kama ma chief, assistant chief, OCSs na viongozi wenu wote, tukiwa watu wachache sana katika Kenya ambao wako na bahati kuwa na kazi. Watu wengi, na haswa kazi ya serikali, watu wengi sana wangependa kuwa na kazi kama sisi, lakini hawana. Wanaomba. Hata ile recruitment inakuja, vijana wengi wanang'ang'ana wapate nafasi kuingia polisi ama KDF ama nafasi yote ya kupata kazi. Kwa hivyo tukiwa hapa, we are already a few percentage of the privileged lot. Na kabla hatujauliza mambo yetu, mahitaji yetu ya kibinafsi na kikazi, lazima tukumbuke kwanza ni kwa nini tuliomba kazi hii. Why did we ask for this job in the first place? Kuna chiefs hapo wamesema waliandikwa a year ago, hata hawajalipwa salary. Wako wapi? Acha nione. Yeah, naona wako wengi hapa hata yeye. Sasa wewe chief, si uliandikwa 1 year ago? 3 years now, eh? Lakini siku yenye ulienda interview, wakati uliapply hii job, so ulikuwa unajua chief kwamba hakuna ofisi? Hakuna motorbike? Si ndio? Sio salary tutasema hiyo. So ulikuwa unajua hiyo? Lakini bado uliapply hii kazi. Kwa nini wewe uliapply? Hiyo ya salary tutasort. Kuna chiefs wengi hapa keti tu. Walienda interview, siku ya interview wakaulizwa wakaambiwa, chief, unajua kwa hii location hakuna ofisi na wewe bado unataka hii kazi. Akasema mimi I'm very creative and innovative. I work under minimum supervision. Na penye itakuwa ofisi yangu. Okay? Kwa sababu walikuwa 20, akawekewa hiyo max. Akaona body language nini, wakawekea 8 out of 10. Akauliza swali ya pili, akaambiwa, chief, wewe hakuna motorbike ya hii location, utasunguka aje ufikie wananchi? Nasema mimi kila wakati mimi natembea huko nikimingo na wananchi, motorbike ni ya nini? Wakaona huyu mbaya, si mbaya, wakaweka 9 out of 10. Siku yenye aliingia ofisi, hiyo ofisi gani hii, hata haina motorbike. Haikae kama ofisi ya rais, hakuna ofisi imejengwa. So you need to remember that all these other things we have asked today is secondary to the initial call that you had to serve. And if you have that calling to serve, you must serve diligently. Lazima ujitolee kwa roho yote. Ukue innovative. Umaneuver through the challenges that are there. Like we said earlier, wewe OCS, uliomba kazi ukasema utafanya kazi anywhere. Kwanza OCS wenye wako hapa, muliandikwa wakati you might have been the only person in your location because mulikuwa wachache muliandikwa. So you are privileged. Be creative. Like I said earlier, ukifika police station huko na hakuna ofisi ama hakuna cell ile mzuri ama hakuna nini, sanya the local community hapo, ita baraza na uite chief na uite MCA. Mwambie sasa bwana MCA, ndio hii, this is the only police station tuko nayo. Tutaendeleaje? Tafuta mbunge, ambia mbunge hii place iko namna gani, tungetaka kusaidiwa. Don't go and sit there and say, si watu shauri yao, wacha nipitishe masaa zangu sikwende, alafu nisonge. Remember, the position you hold at the moment, you are a leader. You are already a leader. And every step, every place you go, you must put in place your leadership skills. Interact with the local community. Be available. Ukikuwa kama OCS na wenda ujifungie kwa police station, how will you serve the local community? Ukikuwa OCS, uendi kanisa, uendi mazishi, uendi msikiti around hapo, uendi hata harusi. How will you interact? How will you win people to your side if you are not interacting with them? You are not conversing with them. You are not sitting with them. There is no other way. If you are around a university, Maseno University, sijui Kisumu, wewe, you must make friends. Ujue nani ni student leader. They must be your friends. You must have their numbers. Waambie sasa kiongozi, mkipata shida yote pigia mimi kwa hii number. Nitawasaidia. You cannot leave the gap between you and the students and expect that they will. You see, like I like what that OCS said. First of all, you must know you have a job. And you need some people to help you do that job. So you must build the relationships and the networks that will help you do your job. Because at the end of the day, other people will do your job, but you will take credit. Tomorrow, tukikuja hapo watu wanasema usitoe huyu OCS. Huyu ni OCS wetu. And it's very easy to do an opinion poll who is a good OCS. You just go to a place na unasema, nimeona kwamba mnaendelea vizuri sana na uongozi ya poll. Watu wanasema toa huyo saa hii. Saa hii kabisa. Lakini kuna mahali unaenda unasema sasa huyu OCS amekaakaa sana, tunataka kutransfer. Watu wanakuambia please, hata kama ni kupromote na abaki hapa. Why? The two demonstrates the role of leadership. You know, wewe chief, you are a person of that community. You must be the leader. Ukifika stage wewe chief, wakati baraza inafanywa, watu wanasema wewe chief, ngoja kwanza wewe songa. Wacha hii mzee atuongeleshe. Ujue wewe ni chief kwa ofisi, lakini huyo mzee ndio chief ya hiyo area. You must be the one who is the leader in character, in behavior, in commitment. You must always be the one who is a leader. So let's be diligent. Let's seek to do the right thing all the time. Let's work as a team. By the time wewe OCS unakosana na chief, na ni chief ni mtu ya area hiyo, he is very enthusiastic to do your job. There can only be one reason. It's because uko na hika control ya kucontrol mahali. There is no way the OCPD can have a car and then the DCC anatembea na mkuu. You cannot always tembea na mkuu. Lazima mkuu pamoja. You must work in multi-agency level together. Chief na DCC, ACC, kila moja wetu. We must pull our resources together, our time together. We are only serving the same people. We are trying to help each other succeed. And that's why this Jukwa la Usalama is supposed to be just an example on how it is easy to bring everybody together, including wananchi. You've heard me in other places, nimesema. What is so private about security that when you have your sub-county security meetings, you cannot invite the chairman of Border Border? What is so private about security that when you have sub-county security meeting, you cannot invite leaders of students? We have said incorporate business community, leaders of Border Border, leaders of Matatu, chief persons who are leading student leaders in the university and dean of students. Invite them, have a meeting at least once a month or once in 2 months to discuss the state of security in that area. That way, those are the people who are your partners in sorting your problems in the locality. And the day mtu wants to attack a police station, watu watasema, this is our police station. You have a community where the opinion leaders have never even stepped in your police station. Why? Because there is a distance between the police and the community. So, when we live here, go and organize Jukwa la Usalama mashinani in the best way you can so that it can help you be able to solve your security and leadership issues at the local level. You are a leader. And a leader, the Bible says, the Lord is my shepherd. A leader is a shepherd. He leadeth me to fine waters, to green pastures. You must lead. You must lead your people. But, you know, some of you, instead of being a shepherd, you are a butcher. You know, a leader, a shepherd, akienda mbele, kondoo inamfuata. Lakini a butcher, anafukusananga na kondoo. Anapika na huku, nini, anapika pembe, anakula kondoo. Na some of you mnakula kondoo literally. Yeah? Kuna chiefs wanaripotiwa, chief fulani alipatikana kwa lodging fulani na kondoo fulani, amefukuzwa, amepita dirisha, anabeba longi kwa mkono. Wewe bado utasimamia nani? Hata tukikuachilia utasimamia nani? You must behave yourself because you chose this job. And it's a job of leadership. It's also a job of sacrifice. You must be willing to go out of your way to make sure that you serve. That's why mnaenda usiku, mnaenda saa ngapi, mnaingia kwa pombe. And I agree with you, of course, that mkienda, at least we must take care of your interest. Ukikuwa injured, wakati unatetea na kutumikia watu wetu. Tumeelewana mpaka hapo? I think that is important for you to appreciate. We have not come here. We've come here to do teamwork, to build teamwork. Even us at the ministry there, if we sit there and say, mimi ni bwana mkubwa, nitakuwa nakaa Harambee House, story nitolewe, nisikie, nisome report, nipige simu tena, niambie county commissioner shauri yako, the work will not be done. That's why we are coming to sit with you like this. So that tuonane uso na uso, tujue hii waziri ni nani. Na is he willing to listen to our issues? Huyu PS ni nani? And so forth and so forth. The same to county commissioner, regional commissioner, you must have teamwork. You must. Sasa ukijifungia Kisumu hapa, Madam Commissioner, RC, itakuwa makosa. You have to go Barasa huko, uende Sondu, uende wapi, uende huko Highland. That is what it is. You know, thank you very much. Hata kama ni kuomba mtu lift, it's okay. Wakati imekwama unasukuma, hata kama ni ya kusukuma usukumiwe na vijana. Wakati hii procurement inaendelea, wewe unasonga. We must always realize that it's such a privilege to serve. And some of these jobs are temporary. Yeah, there reaches a time you are not in that office. You must leave a mark that people can remember. Number 2, we must confront the demon called corruption. We must face it head on. You see, because hapa watu wanajua tuko hapa na tukiwa hivi ni serikali. So you are the face of government. Why people think kabisa, why even they are rating us the highest in corruption? It's because we are distributed the lowest level in the community and we are providing essential services for the safety of the citizens. So any action that is around corruption, umechukua pesa ya mtu ya matatu, umenyang'anya mtu ya bodaboda. Mtu ya bodaboda, by the way, bodaboda hata sio yake. Kuna mtu amenunua bodaboda, amepatia kijana aran na anamwambia kila jioni unanipatia shilingi 500. Miangapi? 300 Inakuwa ngapi? 300. So huyo ametengeneza 400 kwa siku. Polisi amechukua 200. Ikabaki ngapi? 200. Huwezi pelekea hata mwenye bodaboda. Just imagine the kind of anger that lives in the society because of that corruption. Someone will go out of their way. Akisikia police station achoma, atakuwa wa kwanza kuwa mbele kuchoma police station. Because anaona that is the center of his entire problems. Ukweli ama sio kweli? Wewe chief, ukiwa hapa community, there is a lot of work you do on succession. Unasaidia families on matter succession. Kwa sababu ya pesa kidogo unataka, unaandikia family yenye iko na pesa, maybe it is polygamous family, una favor one, unawacha nyingine. You create despondency in the community. And you know, watu hawaongee kuhusu chief because chief apikiwi kura, hawaongee kuhusu OCS. Hiyo anger inakuwa transferred to nani? To the president. It's in the office of the president. So siku ya campaign watu wanasema hii serikali ni corrupt. Hata hawajawahi kutana na president ama minister, wanajua tu ni chief na OCS ndio wametumaliza hapa. This is the most corrupt government. So we have to deal with this issue. Now we must respect ourselves. Because sasa wewe unachukua pesa, nilikuwa nauliza base commander mwingine. Akasema saa zingine wanaangusha tu kwa dirisha. Ati watu wa matatu wanaangushia hapo. So wakishaenda tunaona kuna kashilingi ilikuwa hapo, atu unachukua unaweka tena anaenda anaangusha. Lakini ni hatari sana. Let me tell you. Yeah? Let me tell you, wapi base commander hukusema hiyo maneno leo, lakini hii unajua wote hii watu yote ni corrupt, lakini sasa yenye watu wanaonanga ni kwa barabara because watu wengi wanatembea. So huyo mtu ya unaona mtu anasimama hivi anaangalia, hata mtu ya matatu anajua tu, conductor anajua tu hakuna kitu anaona, anaangalia hapo mbele ati anaona insurance na hakuna, anaona hapo na anaenda kuona insurance nyingine kwa nyuma na hakuna insurance inawekwa nyuma. So wakati anapiga kona hivi hapo ndio anasalimiana wakipitana na conductor. Sababu unaona tu kari na gongo pap anaenda na mkono haibaki hivyo, inaenda kwanza hapa alafu inarudi tena ndio isimamishe gari nyingine. Please guys, we must deal with this issue. And I'm not saying that the traffic people are not doing a good job. They are doing a very good job. There is a lot of work they do. They deal with accident scenes. They go to court. They process many things. They are the ones who help you even for you to be able to claim kwa insurance and so forth. Like in the few instances where we are collecting money is messing up our sector. And that is the same to us in the ministry, and that is the same to yourselves. If we have to provide leadership, we must deal with matters corruption. Now, on the issues of this county, first, tumeongea hapa mambo ya goons, gangs, and so forth. And the teacher has spoken very well, the leader of the border sector. We respect the border sector. We definitely respect the border sector. Transport officers, yeah, in the border sector, yeah. we respect them very much. I was in transport, and I'm the one who gazetted the county security, county transport committees, and the whole plan was to find a way of regulating the border sector and self-regulation. Yeah? We also respect our young people because they are looking for jobs. They are trying to get jobs. But in the process, we should not allow either border or young people who are not in the border sector to organize themselves into criminals who are terrorizing wananchi. And the only way we are going to be able to solve this issue is to have honest, candid conversation at the grassroots level. The police have promised in our security meeting today that they will carry out serious operation to arrest anybody who, in the name of politics or any other way, is carrying a knife, is carrying rungus, machetes, is carrying all kinds of things to terrorize residents. We are willing, we have no problem with any elected leader walking around with their leaders, but it must not lead to a situation where someone is being forced to do certain things because there is a gang. We were told in another county, I don't want to mention the name, that even county government is using goons, to force government policy. That if the county government people are not complying in certain village with county government thing, the leadership of the county government wanafika na goons. Wanakaa chini wanasema nani anapinga mambo ya serikali, na ni watu wenye wanatoa macho na ni macho mekundu na wameshika chuma kabisa, wanaangalia kuona nani kwa baraza hii kwa hivi vile. Na kwa sababu wananchi wanajua ni goons, kila mtu anasema tumekubaliana, kiongozi tumekubaliana, atipitishwe at public participation imeisha. That level of intimidation is unacceptable. So we will we have agreed, there is a way we have agreed with our security team. And the president is trying his best. Climate works, mambo ya construction site, and we are all trying to find ways of ensuring that our young people can get jobs. Even the border sector, properly organized, is a multi-billion economic sector. We just need self-regulation first, before even government regulation. They respect themselves, they determine their routes, they have proper uniform. Some of the border who have become criminals, for example, who are being told in Kisumu, they are being forced to wear uniform of particular politicians and then torture people. We cannot accept that. We want border to have border uniform based on their sectors, designated areas. As told here in Milimani, there is a small organized team that can be replicated in other parts of the county. So that, and you can learn something from the Matatu sector. This is fairly organized. We can also organize the border sector to circles that can be accountable. And chair or a spokesman of border, I have no fear of contradiction. I have not said it's already in the law, but this is where we should go. Border is transport of last mile to access areas that you cannot have vehicles and you cannot have buses and you cannot have train and so forth. We cannot have a pillion passenger being carried on a highway by a border. Ati anatuanga umebeba mtu kutoka Nairobi unakuja Nakuru. That should not be the case. It should be the case that there's designated areas where it is transport of last mile. We are losing so many people in highways, including in Nairobi, because of border. I don't know the statistics in here in Nakuru, in Kisumu. But in Nairobi, especially in the dual carriage areas and so forth, you have many of the pillion passengers losing their lives because of that. There must be designated areas, and then but that will come with the rules and the regulations that you are dealing with. And this conversation, if city center is also for county government to decide, even if they are coming to city center, to which part of the city center, and how will it make sure that there is sanity and order in the transport sector. Or number 2 is sexual and gender-based violence. As I said earlier, this is very prevalent here. We are 36%, national average is 32%. But also sexual and gender-based violence is a crisis in the country, not just one county. I am happy with the chief who said part of the reasons why in some counties it's being reported more than others is because of the proactiveness of the chiefs to make sure that these issues are reported. We should not shy away from reporting, trying to reduce the statistics. No. Let us report. But it's not enough to report. Let us also make sure that it's reported, and these people, statements are recorded by DCI, and they are sent to the DPP, and they are charged in a court of law. The judiciary, I must defend the judiciary. The judiciary is fairly sympathetic to solving cases of sexual and gender-based violence. Unlike in alcohol and goons, the judiciary is more sympathetic in dealing with these issues. So we need to just do proper investigation and make sure that the characters are presented before court so that we can be able to deal with these issues. We know that this issue is prevalent and we must help each other. Border people, please help us. Help us deal and protect with our young people. In Kisii County, for example, I was being told that children are being forced to go to school very early in the morning. That should not be the case. The schools know that the rules are such that schools should only expect the children at about 7 a.m. This thing of getting children to walk at about 5 in the morning and they are not being escorted by anybody in dark areas are things that we must deal with. Lighting is also, in these places, is also perpetuating crime. And county government, let's work together to make sure that we install more lights that can help people to work in an environment that is safe and secure. The other issue is about our lake. You know, our lake here is our lake is also our border. Yeah? Our lake is also our border. And we know there are certain things we have agreed we need to do in our security meeting in the morning. First, we need to increase government presence, border patrol unit presence in a number of places. And immediately within a month or so, we have agreed with the IG that we must have a presence in Mangeta, Ringiti, and Sori, to add to the places where we have. I think those are places. Thank you, DIG. We must increase our presence there so that we have proper enforcement to protect our country, but also to protect our fishermen. We have also agreed that in our modernization program, we are working on procuring more boats and more equipment that will help Coast Guard and the Border Patrol Unit to make sure that they patrol our lakes. This is the case in Lake Victoria, as is the case in Lake Turkana, where we have a similar problem. As I told you earlier, in Lake Turkana, the fish is breeding is happening in Ethiopia, and the fish come to Kenya. It becomes a cause of conflict. In Lake Victoria, breeding is happening in Kenya, and the fish is swimming across. And since the fish does not have, they are fish without border, and we cannot give them passports, and we cannot tag them, there is no other way we will work. We must work in a coordinated manner as the three countries. In this lake, the president had a meeting with President Museveni, and I was in that meeting, and it was agreed that through the joint agreement and the Two Nations Commission, Joint Commission, we are going to have a framework of joint exploitation of fish resources in this lake so that we reduce the problem. I also had a very good proposal from the county security team in the morning that we might need to have a liaison officer from Uganda based here in Kisumu, and we have also a liaison officer from Kenya based on the other side, so that when issues come up, we quickly thrash them and resolve those issues. The land issues, I have heard you. We are going to engage the lands ministry to also deal with their issues of corruption. As we deal with ours on this side, that lands ministry also must deal with corruption issues. On border security, I've heard you. The border on the side of Kericho has one chief corresponding with 4 chiefs on this other side. So we must implement the administrative units on the other side to assist us. And also the NCIC has done a good job in the past. We want them to do even more. And we want to come and complete a peace process that was going on to put together the peace committees from the 2 counties so that we can ensure that the relationship is built between the 2 counties. And it should not depend on political goodwill. It must be a process that brings together everybody. I think those are some of the key issues in this county. Now, on your welfare, I will run through the welfare issues very quickly. Number 1, you have asked issues of mobility. vehicles is a problem, and I agree. The last procurement was done in 2013. At that moment, we have a shortage of a good critical number of vehicles that we need. The leasing program is being worked out, and that leasing program, at the moment, PS is here, and the PS Treasury, they are working on something between the two ministries. We hope that we can get the leasing program go on. We are targeting about 3,000 cars. We are hoping we will close in before October, but it looks like it might drag on up to December. We are hoping that we can have the vehicles leased so that we can supply to yourselves. We have a problem, and it is a real problem, a real problem. And it is not confined to Kisumu. Most of our police stations, most of our counties do not have vehicles, or almost all, at least have critical problems in a number of the police stations. I know also the ACCs are the most affected. They are the ones who have no single cars. The ACCs who are here. Yeah? Madam ACC, where are you? Yeah? Sometimes you have to go with border, right? Yeah? Yeah. You have to work with OCS to help you. But where there is none, unatumia border.
Absolutely, Mheshimiwa.
Yeah, thank you very much. Unaona huyo SEC sasa anapanda bodaboda. Yeah? Akienda kazi. Alafu mzee wa bodaboda anamwambia shika vizuri. Yeah? Na akikataa kushika vizuri anaenda mbio na kufunga break. So the SEC has no choice. Yeah? So lazima tuchunge this situation that we have. Niliambiwa huko Makweni na SEC moja alikuwa anaenda Barasa, amebebwa na bodaboda. Mtu wa bodaboda alipoona mkutano imekaa namna yeye amekaribia, akaweka ka style na madoido, akaangusha Madam SEC. Alipoangusha kofia ikaanguka. Ati mtu akashout kwa mkutano akasema serikali imeanguka, you know. So we don't want serikali ianguke. We want to make sure that transport. Umesikia Bwana Fias, serikali isianguke vile tunaambiwa hapa. I want us to work together. We will see how to deal with this transport issue. On the question of your offices, I'm glad our leaders are here. Let's help each other through CDF to build as many police stations, as particularly chiefs and assistant chiefs offices, particularly to make sure that we have infrastructure. We thank you for what you have done already. I am the one person who supports NGCDF 100%. My opinion is different from other leaders. I support NGCDF 100%. And the reason being, I see the practical solution it gives at the local level. And it gives an opportunity to people at the local level, the committees, to decide the programs they want. And you chiefs, in your barazas and in decisions of NGCDF, working with your MPs, let us also support programs that will build the police station so that we can be able to move forward together. Mambo ya village elders, I totally agree with you, Mama, on the issue of village elders. We are in the final stage of the CAB memo. It's been signed by my colleagues. I'll present before cabinet, and then we'll see direction how to support the village elders. We will see how best we can be able to support you. It will not be employment, so it's not that it's salary. We're just looking for honoraria of some sort to support your work, ya kununua torch, na gumboots, na airtime, na nini, ya kusongesha, and also some insurance for those who are unable to pay for SHA. It can assist them to be able to do so, as they assist the other security architecture to solve their problems. The other issue that I know as of great concern is, I have already said earlier, we have agreed we will have a policy after this on transfers, and we have a policy on promotions. That will deal with all these issues, including the structure of promotion for chiefs, assistant chiefs, and the ACCs. Kuna also chiefs wako in terms of rank wako juu ya ACCs, and then they are being monitored, they are being supervised by the ACCs. That is an issue that we have to deal with. And so already we are having Conversation Public Service Commission as part of the output from this meeting. That is an issue that will make great contribution to it. We also want to reserve, when we advertise for the ACC's jobs, we'll reserve some of the jobs for the qualified chiefs so that they can rise to those positions of the ACCs. But you must go for interview. We'll just reserve the possibility so that you can, there is the Public Service Act requires that everybody must go through suitability test so that you can get to move to that level. And I know some of the chiefs and teachers, chiefs and people who are chiefs and former teachers who apply to be ACCs are struggling to fit into the rank within the ACC's issues. And again, we are working on that part. The ACCs of 2021, who are now almost due for promotion, you need first to go for the training. I think there are 300 of you. And His Excellency the President gave directives when we were at the graduation of the other ACCs, and you have been allowed to go for training. So anytime next month, all the 300 of you will go for the training so that you can qualify for your next stage of promotion. We also don't want you to wait. We want to make sure that the 300 ACCs that are due for promotion for the 2021 cohort, we want to make sure that they are going for the training from next month so that they can be promoted. What have I not said? The question of AIE. AIE is AIE for all, for the police, for all of you, is being worked out. We want to see how best, looking at the budget. You see, let me tell you something, why the AIE kept coming down. The location, which was a location 8 years ago, is 3 locations now. Okay? Without corresponding increase on the side of the budget. So it ended up being that where that jurisdiction where the chief was getting 30,000, you know, or was getting 50, it comes down. So we are doing that. We must do proper costing so that when we improve the AIE, it becomes also sustainable. So we want to do after this proper costing. Remember, before even you speak about AIEs, you have 56 locations that have not been operationalized. And not 56 sub-locations, and I think 20-something locations, and 1 sub-county. 34 locations, 56 sub-locations, you have sub-counties, you have so why have we not operationalized since 2016, 2017? It's for the same reasons. To employ another chief extra requires a salary, and the salary has not been budgeted for. So what we are working on first is even to get these administrative units be operationalized, so that then it's followed by the commensurate AIE. So we need about PS 2.5. We need 2.5 billion shillings extra to our budget to operationalize all the administrative units. So we are working on it. Part of the reason why we wanted to listen to everybody is to strengthen our argument and to carry along everybody, including our elected leaders, so that when we go sit down and work on the budget, we work on it together. And please, believe me, this is something of great concern to us. The administrative units and the AIE is something we will work on, including the fuel. As I said, one of the biggest challenges with the police officers who have the vehicles is that they don't have the fuel, for the simple reason that their allocation is 450 liters per car. So I am glad the OCS proposed 750, but there is almost a consensus. Let us start with 650 for now. So we are going to work to move it to 650 per vehicle, and then we try to ensure that for the areas like Turkana, Marsabit, Northeastern, where they collect their fuel very far, we see how we can ensure that the fuel is collected somewhere nearer, so that then it can reduce also the wastage in that regard. We want to request county governments also to invest in ambulances, so that when you have accident scenes, we don't depend on police officers to go and rescue people, because then that again takes away some of the operational resources. On the issue of drugs and alcohol, we have also said that operation must continue. We already have the names of the places we want to target. So we'll work together to see what we are going to do, and the people who have been profiled. There's even a link of some of them operating from Kisumu to Nairobi. Kisumu is the third highest, it's number 3 in Kenya among the counties where there is a high prevalence of illicit alcohol. So something has to be done. And you are number 5 in the use or of drugs and substance abuse, especially cannabis sativa. So we have to do something. We have a job to do as a security sector for serious crackdown. Some of these people you're calling gangs, they are carrying these drugs, alcohol, and they are carrying machetes and knives. They must be charged for those things. You don't have to say they are gangs. All of them can be swept and charged for the criminal activities they involve themselves in, if they are not abiding by the law and order. You have so many other things. I was trying to summarize them so that I don't have to read each one of them. But it looks like you want to sleep inside this tent. Training has been an issue. And as I said earlier, training will be, I don't want to repeat. This is we will make sure that it's ongoing. And that's why 60-something number of chiefs are leaving tomorrow for the training. And by December, we'll have completed the training for all the chiefs, among other issues. Mambo ya extraneous allowance and hardship allowance, we have had you. We'll take that up. On the citizen services, we are going to open Moroni within the next 2 months. We must have, in the Moroni constituency, we must have an office there because that's the farthest one. And then we come to Kisumu East, because Kisumu East can come later because it's nearer the town, but at least Moroni must come immediately within the next 2 months so that people can get birth certificates nearer home there and so forth. And I've had you also, in terms of other government services, all the sub-counties where we gazette to bring other government services closer. Again, we'll have to work with our leaders to make sure that the office space is there so that then we can encourage other ministries to bring their services closer. Licensing of alcohol and sale of alcohol, county governments, this is your job. You need to do something about it. We'll roll out Ngapu soon after we have initiated this, initiated the recruitment. Stock theft, again, we have agreed with the security sector what to do. Compensation, we agree, our chiefs, WIBA also delays in some cases. We want to, in our report, we'll make sure that that is expedited. That includes also pension and gratuity for those who retire. On the issue of team building, I totally agree. We must have a reward system and bring back team building sessions for all of us. Maintenance of police station, that's AIE issue, and we must deal with that. Promotion policy, strength, road designs, layers with political leaders in issues of goons. Please, that is true. Some leaders have bouncers who are goons, and some don't. So we have to really engage them. And our security sector is going to engage specifically everybody, including governors, senators, MPs, so that we make sure that things go well. I hope my friend Professor Anyang' Nyong'o doesn't have a DG. Does he have his wing? I don't think he can afford to have goods at his, not because he doesn't have money, but at his age, he should be living very good legacy for peace. And I believe he does so. Yeah, so we make sure that we work together to sort out these issues. Harmonization of KPS and NPS, we'll do that. Coast Guard issues, electronic tracking, training. Thank you for the young people who presented their solution here. I'm going to listen to them. Fuel issues for the prison. I agree, and vehicles for prison also. Modern, whatever, public, instant fine system, I agree. Tools to village elder support, security. Jukwa wasomi, we will support you. And the PS office will support you. We have a program to make sure that we support Jukwa Wasomi for our students in college and the university. Comrades power, eh? Yeah, so we will support you. All these other things, human-wildlife conflict, I've already asked our peers to speak to the PS wildlife so that compensation issues also are taken care of seriously in this region, just the way it is done in other parts of the country. Insurance for border, all those conversations, rescue, PWD issues, I agree, gender-based violence, licensing, vetting of persons, vetting for giving IDs that was removed. So chiefs, you know what to do. You are the ones who take responsibility in identifying residents in your location and facilitating them to get IDs. And then IPOA with the police, we must be able to build that good relationship between IPOA and the police. Medical cover is already being discussed, especially for the police. There has been a lot of complaint in the existing medical cover. Simnipigia makofi. I know I've not exhausted everything. Before I give Mheshimiwa Oron, not Aaron, Oron. Before I give him the mic to come and invite, actually before I give the speaker to recognize the MCAs and then say a few words and then invite the MP, let me take this opportunity to invite our PS. You know PS Raymond Omolo? Mchapakazi. Yeah? Adi? Okay. Wodasumi. Yeah? You know, we work together as a ministry. This teamwork, we are trying to push you to work together. Even us at the ministry level, we work together seamlessly. Maybe because he has been my friend for many years, okay? We were in the university together. We have worked this journey together. Even when he was here at Lake Basin Development Authority, we used to consult together, Nikiwa Senate. And I know Raymond has the capacity, the willingness, the hard work to help us sort out the issues within the ministry. And because he's the accounting officer and he's the one who will have to finally put together the resources, and also is the lead person to the Human Resource Issues with Public Service Commission. What is that called? The officer? What? Oh, yeah, authorized officer. Kiingereza imepotea. It is now my singular duty to invite our peers to say a few words before I invite the MCA to say it.
Thank you, Waziri. Let me once again recognize the leadership of Kisumu County, led by the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Dr. Willie, and the MPs, starting with the host MP, Mheshimiwa Oron, MP Koyo for Moroni, MP Rosa Buyu, and also our Senator. The Minister was just whispering to me that she's in charge of the elections of the dominant party, ODM, and that is why there was a bit of pandemonium when she arrived, to make sure that she's properly seated. Professor. Now, and also the MCAs who are all here, and the rest of the leadership, particularly, who work with us within the ministry. Na wananchi wote wa Kisumu. Amoso uno imoreuru. Let me appreciate all of you, because it's not every other day that you find that you sit the whole day to talk to us and also to listen to your colleagues. And we've taken a lot of valuable lessons from the engagements and the feedback that we have had. And because time is long gone and spent, I just want to speak to 3 issues before I invite the speaker, who will acknowledge the members of the county assembly who are here, and he hands over to the area MP. So number one is just to acknowledge and appreciate the leadership of Kisumu County. And I always say this, it's not a mistake that we have the leaders that we have. It is not a mistake that we have the MCAs here. It's not a mistake that we have our members of parliament, as well as senators, and also the governor and the rest of the leadership. And it is our responsibility as citizens to give all our elected leaders the support that we have to give them for them to deliver and to allow us to work for the people of Kisumu and also the people of this country. And just by their presence here, as people work in the executive, we do not take it for granted. And we will continue to work with them to support all of us. Number two is that as officers of government, we have a responsibility to understand what the government programs are, so that when you sit in your baraza, when you attend a funeral, or when you go to a wedding ceremony, you will always be given an opportunity to greet people. Kazi yako sio kuamka na kusalimiana na unarudi unaketi. You must go beyond that. You must be able to explain what the government is doing on matters to do with security, what the government is doing on matters education, what the government is doing on matters health. And you don't have to struggle to know what the government is doing. All you need to do, like today, is just to listen to my minister, and you'll know what the government is doing. All you need to do is to listen to what the president says when he stands to speak, wherever he is, and all the other senior officials of government. Today, because of all these engagements that the minister has been leading across the country, one of the most difficult areas, which is in the North Rift, where we have been struggling with issues of banditry, today alone, more than 40 guns have been surrendered. And this is because of the close working collaboration that we have with the public, and also that is being spearheaded by the leaders of government. And also the dedication that His Excellency the President has given in addressing matters security and the amount of support and investment that has been put in. Issue number 3 is on alcohol and drug abuse. And I think here we really have to work very closely with the counties. There is a law that we have amended. We are waiting to table it in Parliament so that we are better powered to regulate that space. But looking back when we were growing, because I grew up in this town, it was very obvious if you wanted to go out to drink, you'll go to town and do what you need to do, and then you go back home. Today, in every corner in our estates, outside our school compounds, there are liquor stores all over, there are bars all over. And I think we must have a candid conversation and make a candid and sober decision that we designate places where adults can go and drink, where adults can go and have whatever they need to have, and that has to be well regulated so that we protect the minors. Just like the conversation on boda boda and matatu business, we must organize ourselves. And working together with all of you and the county governments, it is something that we must do. Lastly is the issue of violence. There are issues of gangs, criminalities all over. We must agree as a start that violence cannot be used as a currency in transacting our politics, so that there is not going to be any exceptions to this. So if we are politicians, if we are looking for leadership, we must be able to converse and persuade people. And if people don't agree with us, we will not tolerate use of criminal gangs to be able to settle scores. And as we address the challenge of unemployment amongst our youths, crime is not going to be the alternative. We are working on creating opportunities for employment, whether it's through the affordable housing program, whether it's through the digital program. And for those who still don't have jobs, let's work together to find something that will support the livelihoods of all of us. And because we were accompanied by the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Mr. Masengeli. I would just ask him to stand and greet us before we have the speaker speak.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you for the opportunity. This is a true testament kwamba mwananchi ndio mwenye nchi, si ndio? The leaders here, waheshimiwa, the Deputy Governor, the MCS, Afande OCS, Afande Chief, Afande waheshimiwa wote, the comrades power, is a true testament kwamba tumekutana hapo kwa sababu ya mwananchi, si ndio? I just want us to remind ourselves one thing. We as the National Police Service, we are striving to ensure that police stations become the center of excellence in policing operations. And this is a calling whereby we have to remind ourselves that security is not a contest of the mighty, but it is a covenant of trust between the mwananchi and all citizens, that security belongs to all of us. It is not the monopoly of the police, but it should be a responsibility that we unite together, we face the security challenges and insecurity together. Lastly, peace should not only be our mission, but it should be our legacy that we pass on to the champions of tomorrow. Wewe angalia mwenzako, mwambie wewe ni wa maana sana. Mwambie Mungu anakupenda. Afande, as you've just alluded, security is our priority and safety is our responsibility. I submit, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Allow me to ride on the protocol that has already been set. Okay. I'm advised accordingly to use the podium. So ingawaje mimi ni speaker, sitaongea sana, even though hiyo ndio kazi yangu, nalipa kwa kuongea. First of all, let me take the shortest time possible to acknowledge all the members of County Assembly who are here. Tafadhali naomba, nimeambiwa kwa sababu ya muda, msimame, nitawatambua mimi binafsi. Hapo nyuma, Bwana CS, niko na leadership. Honorable Seth Kanga is the whip. We have the leader of majority, Honorable Ken Ooko. We have the deputy leader of majority, Honorable Lumumba Wade. Honorable Seth Okumu of East Seme. Honorable Moses Ochele is Kanawawidi. A specially elected Honorable Emily Oginga. Then at the far end there have Honorable Alice Wajewa, specially elected Honorable Bill of the of Kobura Ward. Down here we have Honorable James Omolo of West Nyakach. Then Honorable Karen Odhiambo, Kalwele Shaurimoyo. Honorable Abed, that is specially elected. Honorable Miki, specially elected. Honorable Nancy Matara, specially elected. Honorable Caroline Opar, specially elected. Honorable Kelvin Uraro, Koloa Central. Honorable Benny Pete Oiko, Kabonyo Kanyagwal. Honorable Millicent Omuya, North Seme Ward. Ruben Rakwach, Honorable, that is East Koloa. Honorable Ann Chimbley, Anno Chola is our youth leader in the assembly. Specially elected. Honorable Sami Onyango, Railways Ward. Honorable Adega, Ben Kajulu Ward. Honorable Warindu, Geoffrey of Miwani. Honorable Donijo Dari, that is Chemelil Tamu. Honorable James Were, Nyalenda B. Honorable Zachary Okoyo, Central Kisumu. Honorable Ken Ouko, West Kisumu. Honorable George Abaja Otutu, as a commissioner, that's a member of the County Assembly Service Board, that's West Seme Ward. In the far end, we have Honorable Nyaoke, that is North Nyakach Ward. Honorable Mildred Ajumbo, Central Seme Ward. Honorable Peter Obaso is specially elected. Oh, back there we have Honorable Habil Umodinya Sona, Masogo Nyangoma ward. I saw Onditi next to you. I don't know where he has gone. Onditi's Ombei ward. So almost all the MCS are here. On behalf of the MCS, we welcome you. And allow me just to say two things. One, on the issue of alcohol and its licensing. That's a responsibility of the county, and I'm happy that all the MCS are here. So on your behalf, we are going to ensure that we look into the framework for licensing, especially the constitution of the board for licensing and the regulations that governs the same. Number two, on the CS, there is the intergovernmental relations framework that's available. Unfortunately, I see a gap in the intergovernmental relations framework in regards to how the county assemblies work with the national government. I say that because including inter-county relations, we can have the same Jukwa, La Usalama, across the county. Kisumu and Kericho, or Kisumu and Vihiga, or Kisumu and Homa Bay. But as a county assembly, we have been doing assembly machinani. And in your request that we have the Jukwa La Usalama to be taken down, I think we can take advantage of the assembly machinani, that when we have assembly machinani, we can have one day that we involve the stakeholders in now interacting with the person down there at the ward level. Otherwise, thank you so much, and may I take this opportunity to invite the area MP, Dr. Joshua Oron, to make his remarks and also acknowledge the other MPs.
Thank you, Bwana Waziri, and all other leaders who have been here. Bwana Waziri, it's been a very long day. Allow me to ride on the already set protocols, just to say that I'm the one who was supposed to have welcomed you here first. So let me first take this opportunity to welcome you all, although it's at the tail end of the event. Phil, welcome. This is Kisumu Central. Before I say something, I also wanted to take this opportunity to thank everybody who has been here. You've sat here from morning, and from where I sit, this was not our event. This is the event of stakeholders, and for us, we just need to add one or two things to what has already been said, because people have been very patient from morning, from as early as 7 a.m. here. Before I make my remarks, allow me to invite our nominated senator, Madam Muma, to say a few words before I say mine.
Thank you, Honorable Oron. Honorable CS, thank you so much and welcome to Kisumu. All protocols observed. I will not be long. CS, I texted you and told you, I think I like what you're doing. And the reason I said that, you will recall that after the death of Ojwang, you and your team appeared before the Senate, and my question to you was, do you apply the human rights approach to governance in the security sector? And what you said is that you are trained in human rights approach, but it is not something that is done. And you will all agree with me, this is the first time we are seeing a CS internal security come down to speak to the people. Ukweli ama urongo? And CS, I can tell you, without spending 1 shilling, you already have better outputs from your officers as a result of this meeting here today. When you do, and this is a rights approach, when you call stakeholders to hear each other, wananchi here have heard the difficulties chiefs have and the opportunities chiefs have. They have listened to what policemen go through. They know their limitations. They know the areas where they can actually work. And as we all go back home, we will operate knowing that even as I am castigating this police officer, I need to be cognizant of the fact that there are these issues. And today here we have all learned that policemen are human beings, isn't it? Policemen are part of our communities. And the police have also understood wananchi are part of the system that we have. So I want to thank you. This is actually an accountability forum, transparent, and it has brought everyone together. Secondly, in my view, the weakest link in the implementation of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 is the intergovernmental relations. We operate as if national government is competing with county governments. We rarely come together to actually do what is right. This has demonstrated, as Speaker says, when we hear each other across the different governments, we are able to deliver services better, both as county and national government. And you were a consultant on devolution. I remember that. I was in CIC. You helped draft the devolution laws. I think while you are in that office, let us strengthen Article 6 on collaboration and cooperation between the two counties. Finally, I want to speak about GBV. I actually rushed so that CS, one of the things I think we need to entrench in your office as a policy, written policy, black and white, is to recognize that GBV is a security and safety issue, and therefore we should not look at it as a matter for the Ministry of Gender. The Ministry of Gender has no security tools. It is you who has the security tools. We have high teen pregnancies in Kenya, third in the world. Nyakach, where I come from, had 3,816 teen pregnancies in 2023. Teen pregnancies is actually not pregnancies, it's defilement. You're a lawyer. You know those are crimes. Now, I would want you to ask your people in Nyakach, do we have 3,816 prosecutions for the defilements? The answer is no. Why? Because we are actually facilitating child marriage by allowing to negotiate instead of arresting those who defile. And those who defile don't come from elsewhere, they come from the community. Relatives in those families, within our schools, within the churches, and so on. And CS, I'm ready to shed off the Senate bit of me and put on the technical bit of me. We need to actually come together, have a black and white policy, so that with every 2 weeks, the PS is able to be given reports on how many defilements have happened, in which ward, in which sub-location, and what has been done about it. If we do that, we are actually going to stop this. And we must also recognize security is not just about you. Security is also about us. So even as we move on, we are willing, as women MPs from this area and others, we are willing to come before you so that we can collaborate and see how we can do this. I will give chances to others. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Before I invite the next speaker, allow me to bring the apologies of Honorable Shakil Shabir, the MP of Kisumu East, who because of health reasons could not be here with us. Accept his apologies. The second apologies I'm bringing is for Honorable Ruth Adhiambo-Dinga, who has brought in a memorandum that will be handed over to you at some stage so that you can go through it. That is a second apology from my colleagues. Kindly accept the memorandum. Allow me to invite my colleague, Honorable Rosa Buyu, MP for Kisumu West. Thank you.
When I see, yes, I was telling you that I also run a gang. That's my gang. To our CS, Honorable Senator Murkomen, our PS Raymond Omolo, our organs of security in this county, our organs of administration, ladies and gentlemen, Bwana CS, with your permission. Wamor koso kwa mor. Wasebeta inya koso kwa beta inya. Lakini ber koso kuber. If you don't speak like that, then you've not come to this part of the world. Bwana CS, I have the privilege of being a member of the Security Committee, which actually oversights your ministry. And we work very closely with the PS and the CS. And I'd like to say that every time I tell you that when you come to Kisumu County, you will hear it all. You've seen the passion, you've seen the eloquence, and you've seen the knowledge with which the people have spoken. Without any fear of contradiction. I'm sure that out of all those 41 places you've gone, ujaona eloquence kama hii, true or not true. And so I want to go a little out of protocol. They, except for Kiswahili, they have been the ones who are clapping. But I want the people on this side to please clap for all these people of Kisumu County. Thank you very much. Bwana CS, I also want to confirm to the people of Kisumu County that most of the issues that have been raised here are issues that you're already tackling in your ministry and we're already tackling within our committee. When I last spoke to you and we discussed issues of recruitment of chiefs and assistant chiefs, we clearly talked about affirmative action. And I want to report here that the CS was categorical that there will be affirmative action in recruitment of sub-chiefs, assistant chiefs, and the chiefs. And indeed, when I told you that the women or the female chiefs perform, I don't need to go too far. You've seen it today. So affirmative action is something we have to do, so that when we stand up or we have 256 chiefs and assistant chiefs in this county, you can clearly see that 1/3 is of the other gender. That would be a good point to start. Again, because you come from a human rights background. So that is something we must achieve. I want to talk about resurgence of gangs. They might not be able to tell you, but it is something that's happening in this county. And we cannot allow it. We cannot allow it. But unfortunately, the people fueling that resurgence of gangs are leaders. When you see Boda fighting Mambogi, what their leaders behind them. And this is something we have to tackle because we just have 2 years into elections. We all remember the time when we had gangs and fights of gangs in this county. There was the Americano and there was China squad and things could not move. We don't want to go back there. So I just want to request you to give your security organs good support, because it will be the breakdown of this county. And we will also do our part as leaders, me included, so that we know that even if we want to be elected, it's the people who elect. You speak to them, they listen to you, they either vote you or don't vote you, but you cannot use violence. Because when there's violence in Kisumu, the whole country catches violence. It all begins with us. Look at how peaceful we were during last demonstrations. The demonstrations died. Because nobody has passion and stamina like the people of Kisumu County. When PS, we've talked about that with you. And I know you've said you've got an outline of what you're going to do, just so that we don't see any violence coming up again. I want to talk about these chiefs. I was in the Legale Commission, and I traversed the whole country. And despite the fact that I am a strong believer of the Constitution, the one part that I didn't agree with was that we must do away with provincial administration. I'm telling you, this is the government, what you see here. This is the government. There are parts of this country where they don't know any government and they don't see any government except the assistant chief and chief. So we must look after these people. And when they tell you that sometimes they risk their lives at night and go to the changa dens and arrest the people with their changa and take them to the police station because they don't have anywhere where they can hold the changa people, the brewers, and the brew itself. The next morning when they want to take the people to court, the changa is gone and the people are gone. And that is why it is so important that the police and the chiefs work close together. Otherwise, this menace of changa will not be defeated. The chiefs can do their jobs, but like they say, they don't have any other thing apart from taking the changa brewer to the police. But if we let them scot-free, then what is happening? We are not going to do anything. So we must work together. I want to also report that the members of parliament in Kisumu County are really working hand in hand with your ministry, because the mandate of members of parliament is within education and security sector. In my constituency, for example, we've got very many chiefs' offices built. And when I talk about offices, I'm not talking about single rooms that don't give you dignity. I'm talking about offices. In our constituency, we've also done a police headquarters, sub-county headquarters, which is complete. And I will request you through the PS that could we kindly have it opened so that all the police departments can actually be housed there. The reason why we do this is to enhance security. But when PS, my last point is, we have always talked about following the policy that no police officer should stay in a station serving for more than 3 years. But we did not mean that you post a sub-county commandant as is coming up with strategy to enhance security in an area. Within 3 weeks, he's already transferred. I mean, that doesn't make sense. I have a case in point in my constituency, and I'm sure in other constituencies the same thing is happening, where the transfers are now just like this, and between an old or the old officer who is leaving and the new one, there's then the criminals take a lot of advantage, and there's a lot of crime that's enhanced. So let's just look at that policy so that at least when you have an officer dealing with security issues in a particular constituency, they are given opportunity to act and to see the results of their action before you can transfer them and bring somebody else. Otherwise, I want to thank you. And like Mheshimiwa Catherine has said, what you've done today, or this idea you've come up with, this is what the country needs. Because you are bridging and you are killing and demystifying that thinking that police is for beating people and security is supposed to be secret, because now you are talking to the people. And I'm telling you, these people are going to work hard, not because they are waiting for salary, but they'll begin to feel like they're working for Murkomen. I'm telling you that. Because now they know you. They've seen you. They've felt you. And I think this was a big plus. Apart from this, what you also did on the TV station the other night, I've already told the PS that. That was a big plus too. Because you demystified everything. You talked to Kenyans. You allowed them to ask you questions because you have no secrets to hide. So on behalf of our Committee of Security of National Assembly, I want to thank you for this step you've taken, and I want to thank you for the support you're giving us, but I also want to thank you on behalf of all these people that we hope you will come again.
Thank you. Bwana Waziri, allow me to acknowledge the presence of former Nyakach MP, Honorable Ochieng Daima was in our midst. Is he still there? Bwana Daima is seated at the back there. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming to give your contribution to this. Allow me to invite my brother, MP for Moroni, Honorable Onyango Koyo, the brother from the same mother.
Thank you so very much, Waziri. The day has been long. I'm very happy that the day was meant for the stakeholders, the sub-county security, various sub-county security teams, and you have been equal to the task. We have dedicated the day to them. The deliberations here have gone on very well, and I'm happy that everything came out and you have responded to them seriously. I want to thank you for that. I only want to remind you that most of the things that came out here, most about this sub-county, were things to do with Muhoroni. You remember very well, there was a very tribulating moment. I had spent 2 nights without sleep at the Bomas of Kenya waiting for the results. He had done so. I think he was doing his 3rd night. Then we met. There were mixed reports coming, false reports. He was excited. I was excited. Then he told me, Koyo, the way you are excited like this, I think Arab Ruto is winning. Because they always think that I'm Kalenjin, I'm not Luo. So I want to thank you very much and to tell you that most of the things that came, the results that came out of this meeting were true. You are a modern administrator. When you go back, study them properly, make sure that those that are implementable, you implement them. These people may not know, I want to remind them today, that the government is like a stool with 3 legs. During the colonial government, there was the colonial governor, then there were the provincial administrators. And these are the ministries, health, education, they were subcontracted, mostly to the missionaries. But there are a few areas the government cannot subcontract. It is security, it is justice and finance. Those departments belong to the president and he gives them to the people he trusts most. So you check in President Ruto's government where finance, justice, security, where they are. And then you know who are his most trusted workers. Winning elections in this country easily is Ruto. And he has worked out one. Don't doubt this one, 2027, even is how we are looking at 2030. This is why we will succeed him. And he will be a Kenyan. We will put an enabling infrastructure that will bring any Kenyan. It can be a Turkana, it can be anybody. And you must support him. We must support him. When you go back, remember that is a sub-county that has not been actualized. It's in Muhoroni. And those other few divisions and whatever. Go and do your best. You know, between you and me, I can't report you to President Ruto. He will tell me you can't report your brother to me. Go and fight him. So when you go back, you go and do your best. In Kisumu sub-county, we are working very well. More so after the president he agreed to work with his brother Raila Odinga. We have no qualm. Because we are followers of Raila Odinga, and Raila Odinga is working with the younger brother who helped him some other time. And we also always owe Ruto something, which I think we will pay through thick or thin. So I want to welcome you and to tell you to come back again. And these people may not have, each time you see us to office, around the office, we are not idlers. We have come to present to you the interests of these people. Always allow us to and the 2 of you here, don't let President Ruto down. Don't let the 2 of you don't let President Ruto down. You know you hold the key to this country. Every morning, you and Molo can tell Ruto what happened in the border of Kenya and Tanzania. Because you have the facility, you have the infrastructure. These chiefs are your people. The DOs are your people. The DCs are your people. So I want to thank you so much and invite you to Muhoroni very soon for what you know you must come to do. My people do not have a lacking transport. When you have processed this new procurement of vehicles, I would like new vehicles for the RDU, for the DCC, and for 2 police stations. At this time, I don't want to have an experience I had last time during Matiang'i. He pledged to give me vehicles. He gave me one very good Land Cruiser, but it came through the RC. When it reached here, the RC returned it, and gave one to Moroni, one that was not serviceable, the one that he had always been using. So this time I want one marked for Moroni, and it comes to Moroni a new one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Koyo. Bwana Waziri, a lot has been said. I don't want to say a lot more, but I only have 2 or 3 points that I wanted to raise. One, majority of the people here have talked about the insecurity. They have talked about the youths and the young people. What I've not heard is the root cause of some of those insecurity. It's like wanting to cure a disease that you don't know what is causing that disease. Majority of our crime here, majority of the youths involved in the petty crimes is as a result of unemployment. Bwana Waziri, we are now in broad-based government. We've seen affirmative action in projects, roads, health, and other things. It's my request that we have affirmative action in employment within the security sector for these young people. Bwana Waziri, the army recruitment is coming, police recruitment will be coming. Our people here have lagged behind for many, many years. This is an opportunity for you to rise above and give these people some of those opportunities without limiting it to the numbers that are given across nationally, but giving them additional more, especially in Kisumu Central, where we have the majority of the unemployment of the youths. By the way, majority of the counties of Luo Nyanza recruit informal security and youth from Kisumu Central in particular. This is something that I would want you to take back and to look at. Secondly, you spoke about originally about operationalization of some of the administrative units because of resources. Kisumu Central in particular is overpopulated. We have the fewest number of sub-chiefs and chiefs in this sub-county. We have 2 locations which were gazetted in 2017. To date, they have not been operationalized. We have 4 sub-locations which were gazetted in 2017. They have not been operationalized. It's my humble request that as you are waiting for the national operationalization, kindly consider Kisumu Central first so that they can have this operationalized, please. My last point is about the village elders. Bwana Waziri, we've done it in health. I sit in the health committee. We've done it in health with CHPs by ensuring that CHPs have a stipend. The lowest unit of security are the village elders in this country. I also heard the sub-chiefs and chiefs talking about the AIE, that they have 30 and 15,000. Bwana Waziri, it's my humble request that before even you reach the stage of getting the CAB memo, before the bill for the village elders go through, kindly consider looking into the increase of AIE for the chiefs and sub-chiefs so that they can look after the village elders. These people don't even have torches. These people don't even have batteries. Is that correct? They don't even have those. And small increase into the chiefs and the sub-chiefs AIE will enable them to enable our support system, which is the village elders, to run and support what they are doing, because they are the first call. generally they are the first call, they are the first security, whether in the middle of the night or during the day. My last point, to the chiefs, sub-chiefs, and ACCs. We have a role to play in ensuring that we increase the number of people who are registered and have IDs. I want to encourage you to start the drive and have a drive to increase the number of people who don't have IDs so that they can have IDs, because we are going into electioneering year where that ID will be very vital for registration as a voter. And you know what we want, don't you? Don't you know what we want? Don't you know what we want? Otherwise, take our salam to His Excellency the President and tell him that these people are happy with him. And I said the other day that for me, I review the 3 years of His Excellency the President by what is going on in Kisumu County, what is going on in Homa Bay, what is going on in Siaya, and what is going on in Migori. And it's different from other government that we've ever seen. Jotura Untie, kindly look after our brothers and sisters who are in President William Ruto's government. Thank you. Allow me to invite the DG of the great county of Kisumu, my uncle, Honorable Owili.
Thank you. Let's give him another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. CS Interior, the Honorable Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen. Our brother, the PS Interior, Dr. Raymond Omolo. Allow me to recognize the presence here of the leadership of the national government and the county governments. And to greet you, I know it has been long here, good evening. We had a session with the CS this morning with the governor, and so we were able to consult at that point, so I will not be long. But allow me to make 2 observations, CS. One is that the idea of this kind of engagement all over the country is noble. You get to sit, and you've been very patient to listen to your people. Here in Kisumu, the speaker did say that we have bunge mashina, not bunge mashinani, assembly mashinani, and we also have huduma mashinani. And so we know what it means for this kind of engagement. The second one is to note that this team, CS, are doing a good job. Right from the regional commissioner all the way to the assistant chief and any other level that they have at that point. That we have to recognize as the county leadership of Kisumu. Now, you have listened to them, CS. They have been very candid with you in terms of what needs to be done to ensure that service delivery is enhanced. On behalf of the county and on behalf of the governor, please listen to them. If there's anything you can do to make their environment and their space better so that they can deliver, kindly do that. The constitution that you helped craft of 2010 recognizes 1 national government and 47 sub-national. And then it gives responsibilities. One of the responsibilities is land. That very constitution, CS, also recognizes the sanctity of titles. And I know it came up here, land is a devolved function, but what belongs to the national government belongs to them. What belongs to the county government also belongs to them, but the interdependability that the constitution is asking for is such that, like what you can see in Kisumu, we are sharing offices with the Ngao fraternity. And so issues of land, we can always talk about it at the two levels of government. We've talked about lighting in residential areas. As the county, we take note. We've talked about liquor licensing and the fact that we need to consult with you before we do so. We have taken note. We've talked about the rescue center for GBV cases. We have taken note. CS, allow me to request you. I know that part of your team is here talking about peaceful coexistence between our counties. And Reverend Kobe has been here and will be here through to Sunday. This particular administration has the best chance, in my view, to resolve the border issues that we've had with Kericho, both at Sondu and Muhoroni. So we are relying on you 100% to help us on that front. We are also aware, at least from this discussion, that we have the OKM football tournament that is meant to foster peace and unity. If you may consider extending the same to Kisumu County and Kericho, we need to play football and do some marathon, because we can also do marathon, so that we can foster that peaceful coexistence. The border sector is born out of necessity. CS, in the border sector, you have graduates such as the one who spoke. You are people with master's degrees in that very sector. We need to listen to them. And you can see even from their presentation, they were very, very candid. But CS, it seems to me that the border sector may have been infiltrated. Now we have thieves in Kisumu here, they call them Jodimbo. They will follow you in a motorbike. They will, actually, they kill. They don't just steal, they kill. So we need to have a candid discussion. The border sector need to help our security agencies with information, because the last time I checked, even the border people are affected. The mental health issues, I think county health and evolved function, we can always work together to ensure that the uniformed officers, and not just them, I have evidence that even in the teaching profession, quite a number of them need that service, what they call psychosocial support. With those many remarks, we thank you for this opportunity of engaging with your people in Kisumu, and we believe by you being here, service delivery will be taken a notch higher. Asanteni.
Haya, pigia makofi DG. Makofi tena. Mine is to thank DG and the governor through you for welcoming us and being with us. This is not the latest meeting tumekaa. Tumekaa Turkana mpaka karibu saa 2 usiku. So it happens. But it was also an opportunity for us to do this teamwork. And thank you for being patient. Our chiefs, our assistant chiefs, na wote wenye wako hapa. Nashukuru sana Mheshimiwa Senator Catherine Muma, ambaye tulifanya kazi na yeye akiwa katika commission ya CIC, yes. Tukifanya mambo ya devolution, and I was in Senate, but of course I've known his other housemate for many years, because he was my teacher. Thank you very much. And then Mheshimiwa Koyo, asante sana. Nimejua huyu pia sana, ataki niseme, lakini nimejua Rosa also for many years. For those years tulikuwa students in some leadership course for many, many years before. We were dreaming that one day we will be leaders. Na siku hiyo nilikuwa mtu ya mkono ya baba. Rosa akakuwa faithful, amekaa na baba for all those years. Ndio mimi nimerudi juzi. Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa Oro. And then Speaker, thank you very much. You know how to reach me. I want to thank the MCAs in a very special way. You know, for a member of a county assembly, a politician, kukaa kutoka saa 5, saa 6 mpaka saa hii na hajasema kitu, that is a high level of humility. So as the MCAs of this county, the day you will want to see me, or you want me to have an engagement with you, I will repay you. Nitalipa hiyo safari to make sure Mkiniita hapa nitakuja. Mkitaka mnione Nairobi nitapanga. Kwa hivyo nataka nishukuru sana na tuendelee kushikana pamoja. Tunashukuru uhusiano mzuri ya baba na rais wetu, na sisi wenye tulikuwa conflicted, tulikuwa kwa rais lakini ni marafiki na baba. We are now double happy kwa sababu tuna support rais na wameshikana pamoja na yeye. Na as a person who has worked closely with both of them, I want to appreciate the former Prime Minister Baba wetu Raila Odinga, because he's a statesman, and every time I have been in a meeting, he always thinks about the country, not one region, the entire country, and the fairness of running the entire country. And this one, they are coming together, ndio imeleta amani kwetu pamoja. Now it shows that in politics, competition is not enmity. It is possible to compete and also converge, especially when national interest is in danger. You know, there are some people who are celebrating when they see other countries collapse. But Baba wetu Raila alisema, it is better to be a partner with your government than to fight and have no government at all. Save your government first and have other discussions in future. And because of his decision, see what our country has been like. Ona development inaendelea kwa hii region na region zote za Kenya, na Mheshimiwa Rais ata extend mkono kwa kila. And I like what Mheshimiwa Koyo alisema. The president and the former prime minister are setting a ground for Kenya where anyone can be president of Kenya. You know, you don't have to be asked again, shares yako ni ngapi. We don't want Kenya, everybody is a shareholder in Kenya. There are no people who have greater stakes than the others. Na washukuru sana na Mungu wabariki. Thank you very much. Tutafanya national anthem.